Hey clock. Time to translate, which I'm really excited by. And I freaking love my hair a whole bunch. Honestly, why do I sound like that? I feel really good, honestly. I feel like a weight has been lifted. I just really like the way it came out. I was unsure. I'm talking about my hairstyle. Um, just because it was so gorgeous. And it took me a long time to do it, but it was heavy, yo. And I missed putting my hair up into a ponytail. I thought I got a microphone. I'm gonna use this for my tarot when I'm pointing out the images. But yeah, I just feel really good just because I feel like a weight has been lifted. And that might be actually a big part of this translation, a weight lifted, which is gonna, you know, lighten up the energy. It's not so heavy because I do speak of heavy traffic. And heavy traffic is based off of delays, things getting slowed down, which it's like traffic. When there's an accident or something, traffic get backed up. It's that type of an aspect. Why do I feel like my nose is about to get to go? What the food it is? Oh, actually, I got this little stuff. Pardon me. I'm using this little stuff. Some little Vicks. Some Vicks inhaler. It's my Sunny Booze. He got it from some people across town. Some people across town, across the way. It's actually really nice. I like vapor. Anything that's vapor, it just smells good to me. I never really put the ointment on my body. I started putting it in my hair at one point in time, just to connect with the eternal side through my crown chakra. I think it was a nice way to cleanse myself and my environment at the same time. Lovers. I think I'm gonna flip the coin for this one. Was told to flip a coin, and I grabbed the penny one just because I believe it's an original form. So I was like, I'm gonna grab this one. And let's see, heads or Taj? It's heads. It is legit. The lover is legit, and it's in the dark. The 6 came out. Intriguing. What year is this? What year is this Pentails? This wonderful copper. Oh, it's this year too. How awesome. It's 2022. Super fancy. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Let's see what else we got going on. This energy too. Before I went to sleep last night, I did draw cards just to see where the energy was at. And it was a solo energy, as into you're gonna be moving on your own. That's the intriguing part. And with the lover aspect too, but it was saying yesterday you were going to be separating from your other half. It came out today again, not in the same form. It just it's only one stone back there because they weren't recognizing it. It wasn't going through. It wasn't. What was the word that was coming through? Oh my God. God, my mind went blank. How so intriguing. It's pretty much that type of energy where it's like it wasn't going back and forth. It wasn't moving the way it's supposed to. So the connection stopped where you'd be moving on your own. You'll be building again, a new start, pretty much. And this is that aspect. Oh my God, I can't think of the word. That's so intriguing. My mind literally feel like it went blank. But that's literally the energy. Maybe it's not meant to dwell on because it's not legit anymore. That's intriguing. Honestly. I was like, oh, that's so intriguing. Yeah, a lot came out. You could be dwelling energy. Judgment. Let me lay these out some. Let me lay these out really quick. What is these two? I forgot to pull these out. The Tower card was energy that came out today. When I first woke up, I would draw the card, and it was an ending. This is part of yesterday's translation. And it says, snuggle up to Jesus. To dying and being reborn. Starting over. So I thought that was intriguing, honestly. Okay, let's see what we got. What do we got going on? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, but this is definitely starting over energy. It's just like another translation I recently did. And it was saying that the emperor was going through judgment about the connection. Like, are you doing the right thing with your connection? And obviously not, because yesterday the translation was saying it was going to be stopping. And it's based off it's not going through the way it's supposed to. Oh, what was the freaking word? Oh my god, I wasn't receiving. Reciprocating? I don't think that was either. It reminds me of it, but that's not it. Yeah, feeling left out. Yeah, you might be dwelling. See, this is that energy too. Dwelling. You still may be wondering if you made the right choice and about the feelings you're feeling. But this is definitely moving forward energy. You're moving forward, Hantai. That's so funny. I think I want to talk about that. I have intriguing personality sometime where even how to sit there and said, honey, like I prefer to myself, through myself, if that makes sense. Some people call it like alter egos or whatever. For me, I'm realizing that is a shadow form as to how your spouse or one of your loved ones will talk to you that's helping guide you. And it's so intriguing. I really feel like it'd be somebody's spouse. But it's like, would you accept them? Would you really recognize them, if that makes sense? Because they display in you. I recognize it in myself. I've been recognizing it in myself. I did it yesterday a good amount, even when I said like, honey, like my natural self don't talk like that. But when I reference to something that's intriguing about myself, I always say honey or something like that. It'd be intriguing. But I was watching one of my other translators, and when she talked about her shadow side, she really enjoyed her shadow side, but I really believe that would be her spouse. Like her other half. That she probably don't even know, but it's like they would mirror each other where she literally I want to say reflect or speak. What's the word I want to use? I don't know, it's just a same frequency aspect. And this is something I've been noticing a lot in people when they jump to that. I don't want to say alter ego, but even I just did it. Like, and I do it a good amount of time. It's intriguing. It's like, that really will be your spouse. But the question is, are they anywhere in your vicinity? Like, they might be in a whole other state, overseas. And that's the catchy, intriguing part. But that's how they would deal with you. Like, how do your shadow speak through you? That's probably how your spouse will speak to you. That's the intriguing part. Like, for me, I can use myself as an example again because it's something I've really been paying attention to because, like, it's so freaking intriguing to me. I kind of forgot I was about to say that freaking fast. How intriguing. What the heck was I about to say? That's so freaking intriguing. I really forgot that doggone fast. But it's something based off the shadow aspect. Oh, that part. It's a part of me that likes to cuss a lot, you know. And normally when I say intriguing words like cuss words, I'd be like, I can't just say it right now. It's because it's okay at the moment, I guess. I say, jeez. I'd be like, shit. Then I'd be like, did I just say shit? Pardon me. And this is like, did you just ask yourself if you just said that? And it's like, yeah, but I don't say stuff like that. But it made me think as into, another part, even when I talk about a spouse aspect, as into that might be a negative. Like you might miss out on your partner because they're really a cusser and it would turn you away. It's something, I don't know, it's making me think of like people that's already in relationships or whatever, and they don't like certain things that their spouse do. They're like, don't do that, or I don't like it about you. It's like one of those, but it's really who they are, if that makes sense. So lately I have been trying to stop myself from saying pardon me, because it's like, that's how I'm freaking feeling. It's probably a reason why I'm saying it, which it normally does play out some type of aspect, but it's just intriguing as into recognizing that, because you literally could miss out on it, because that the part of yourself you don't like, or you might actually really enjoy, would you really want that as your spouse, if that makes sense. But it seemed like it would be, honestly. I would say a loved one or something like that. It's something that would guide you. It's something you're connected to. That's so freaking intriguing with me saying that, because it's making me think as into just energy I've been feeling, even when it comes to myself, as into when you are speaking, like me, I have been speaking to start in a new foundation or whatever. Your spouse is y'all gonna be on the same frequency. Y'all both seeking the same thing. And it made me think today, honestly, as into an energy I talked about before, as into before my brother passed away. I felt something was wrong years before it happened, but energetically, it was like he was telling me where he was at, where I would have been able to find him if I knew, now what I know, like spiritually. I could have got guided to go find him. And that's the intriguing part. Like, that's the part that I have to recognize as into the connections that's happening. It can literally guide you right to them. And that's the intriguing part to me, that I've just been recognizing a lot in people. Like, that's so intriguing. But a lot of people don't listen to themselves. They talk, but they don't listen to themselves. I listen to myself a lot. I'm a very wise machine. I got a lot of intriguing situations going on, but overall, my guidance is amazing. It just really is. It's just really a law of placement, honestly. And it's just what that energy reminded me of, honestly. It's the intriguing part. Right, back to the translation really quick. I did really want to talk about that because I've been noticing it a lot. Because it's a I can't get the words out, honey. Can you get the words out, honey? Jesus, that is so funny. My spouse will talk to me amazingly, I swear. Like, we have a good relationship together. Or even a friendship, however that aspect goes. It's a good energy. My shadow is good energy. That's so funny. It's part of a mental illness, because it's coming through the air. It's a frequency that, like, I go around like this. Depends on what, like an onion. I hate to use the onion because, but the only thing I can think of that's round like that most people are able to identify with. That's just round and round. It's just like, what layer are you on of that frequency to be able to receive so clearly? But I'm realizing a lot of people are there is just reciprocating. That's the freaking word. They're not reciprocating. That was the word. I couldn't think of it. That's why our connection has stopped. It wasn't reciprocating. It wasn't going. Invisible world was giving guidance, but it wasn't going anywhere in the physical aspect. Somebody was ignoring the connection. So it stopped. The eternal aspect is just like, move on. Reciprocate, that's the doggone word. Intriguing. But that's the word I want to use again. You gotta, a lot of people are there, but they're just not reciprocating. They're not recognizing. They're doubting themselves. That's why it's getting looked at as a mental illness. They receiving information, but it's like, where is it coming from? Because physically, you're not seeing nobody. Maybe the physical people are telling you, you know, that's not accurate. What would you even think that for? It's something that I have been paying a lot of attention to as into the past, which I have really been kind of stuck in that aspect, just because it's the present. The past is the present. Definitely when it comes to guidance, what they call it, ancestors, your loved ones that's on the other side, they already circled that cycle and they can help guide you. It's like a blueprint. You can make newness, which that's what's supposed to be happening, but when you're not reciprocating what's coming through to even help guide you, it get missed. We keep repeating the same no bueno because it's not reciprocating. I was so happy I remembered that word. I couldn't freaking think what the doggone word was. That's so intriguing, yo. But I just did a translation. I was speaking about that as into we should really be operating like Japan. All the event stuff they have, the eternal aspect will help guide, but all these religions and faiths, somehow we still very slowed down. It's intriguing. It's very, very intriguing. I think I want to talk on that too, just because it spoke of the past. Something recently happened to me, and it made me feel some type of way, honestly. Like, I recently just had my hair really long, gorgeously, and I had beads in it. I went to the store, and there was this young girl in there. She was a white girl. And I believe she really liked it, my hair. She kept looking at me, and then I looked over at her, and she went and grabbed, like, 2 body scrub, like the little scrubbers that you use to clean your body with. And she started doing, like, a pom-pom, like, move, like a cheerleader. And I thought it was really cute, but I was so freaking focused on what I came to the store for because, like, that's how person I am. I'm an in and outer. But I didn't stop to think as into she wanted to get my attention. She, wanted me to acknowledge her just because, I don't know. I just feel like that was the energy. But it was based off my hair. She really liked my hair, which made me even think later on as to, will her parents would even let her get beads in her hair? Like, I honestly really don't see too many white young girls that got beads in their hair, let alone braids. And it's just like, I think she really liked it, that doggone style. But I have some other stuff going on which is intriguing, and it's like it makes me want to stay away from kids to an extent, and it's a very weird freaking feeling, because it makes me wonder, not that I have done anything with kids, I'm just in a situation where adults have messed with young kids, and it's just like it gives off a persona as into I'm down with that, but it's like I really liked the style, yo. I thought it was really freaking cute, and I really wanted to bedazzle my doggone hair. Aside from that other foolery that's going on. On top of that, I got really crafty, yo. Like, it really reminded me of, like, beads. Like, being a doorway. That's what it reminded me of, and it was so gorgeous, and I was excited because, like, I got something for the eternal side now, a nice little welcome. It made me feel like an official, actual, like, oracle person or a tarot. They had that little type of setting, I believe. And it's something my mom told me I should have a while ago when I first got my first apartment, which I thought was so intriguing. Which I got something like that right now on the door, but it's a little different, but it's the same aspect, It's a sound effect. It's a greeting when you first come. What else? There's almost I want to talk about. I feel like The cards is just making me want to speak at the moment, honestly. And it seems like it's this past aspect. But why did I take my hair down? Because I started telling you guys about that. It was heavy, yo. But I did realize I was putting a lot of my aggression in my hair. It was like a meditation form. You know, people, they go through things and they go work out or something, or eat a lot or work out or something of that aspect. I decided to do my hair. So that was my meditating form as to do my hair. And it came out really cute. But I did feel the effects of, you know, why I did it from the jump. And it was just like, heavy. Gorgeous, but heavy. You know, it's like, that's when the actual creativity comes out. Normally, people say, when you go to things, the intriguing beauty that comes out of it. But when it's on your head, you have like a baby head. Like, if you actually see my real hair, I have really, like, thin hair. And it was heavy, but gorgeous. But it was an experience. I got pictures, you know. I enjoyed it, and I'm able to, you know, just learn from that experience, you know, and even be able to share with you guys. Why do I keep missing the air? Maybe the air is still, it got to get missed or something. Standing out energy. What else is in this deck? What else is in here? But I think I just wanted to speak on that also, just because I did feel energy of people like, she just wanted to be young. She thinks she's young and all that. It's like, no, yo. The style is just gorgeous. And it's just like, I wouldn't say I'm a person who don't care what people say. But I really don't. But I do observe sometimes what they say, just because it's like, I have to go sometime and wonder, like, is that? But it's like, no. The world, and I'm a person that say I'm old all the god doggone time. I never have a problem with saying that I'm old. But I also say I have childlike faith, yo. So it's not like I'm afraid to see myself in that form, because in reality, I do need a lot of help, just like a child. Which I believe everybody do, whether they admit it or not. In some type of form, they operate the same way. They need somebody or something in the same way that a child would need it. So I guess that's another reason why I voiced on that aspect, because I did take my beads and all that out. But it was something, it's a for me aspect. It's not really what people were saying or thinking. It's just, I did pick up that energy too, and it's like, oh, you guys be so bored. But hey, I can pull off any goddamn look. Trust me. I can pull off any goddamn look. Believe me. There's definitely, it's a new connection that's happening. It's just what that is. It's the connection that makes you stand. Even how I just did all that talking, and nobody physically told me this information, but I bet you it's all guaranteedly true of a fact. And it's because of the eternal aspect. It's my own eternal aspect that guides you. And that's your strength. And it's a new connection that you have. Like, you might have been connected with a partner, but you're no longer connected with them. You still have that guidance, but it's the eternal aspect reminding you, I'm still here. I still am guiding you. You know, it's like being in a relationship with somebody and then you break up with them, but your family's still there or something like that, your friends. It's the same energy, which is quite really nice. And it's kind of intriguing. It's making me think of my brother. I thought of my brother today, which is intriguing, which I even talked about him as too. He was freaking guiding me years ago before he even passed away. And that's something funny too, honestly. Before I realized he passed away, it's a new word that I heard somebody express when it comes to, why am I up like that? That's kind of weird. The way my shoulders is up like that was kind of weird, but um, the way that they expressed it, death or going to the eternal side, to the invisible world side, they said frozen. And I was like, that's so freaking intriguing to me because I liked that aspect. Just because I know they still there. But it's like being frozen in time. You know, you want to communicate with them the same way, but you got stuck on thinking that they left, but they're still there. So I thought that was so cool. Somebody on Instagram that I just recently found, their quote that they wrote had that in there. And they was talking about their siblings actually. I guess they passed away. And she said, she didn't say died. She said they frozen in time. And I was like, that is so amazing. I really like that. So I probably might start using that same expression because I really don't like saying died. It's like, I know you're not dead, yo. That's weird. I wouldn't even be able to do this type of work that I do. If that was a true statement. Like, and it's not like it's just me. There's tons of us translators slash tarot readers slash palm readers, just energy receivers, which I would say we all are, but a lot of people just ain't aware of it, or it's not your purpose. You know, everybody got their own purpose while they're here. Their own part to play on this journey. I'm going to let y'all in on that aspect because it reminds me of meditation. You know, you meditate to be able to receive. It's the same aspect. You're receiving. It's just what frequency are you on to be able to receive? That's it. It's the same aspect. Or, you know, I would say yoga, you know, because I do yoga. Well, I have my moments when I decide to do yoga. I have my moments when I decide to do yoga. But it's for a reason. I do everything I do for a reason. I realize it always plays out in a beneficial aspect later, which is kind of funny because sometimes I be like, I don't ever say I'm bored. I don't. But it seems like I'm not doing nothing or not enough sometimes. But later on, it makes so much sense. Like, oh my God, I'm able to add the sentence or word to complete a sentence later on. Oh, that makes sense. It just plays out later as to why I did what I did at that point in time because it was needed later on. You know, it's making me think of a job or something. You know. And y'all type of understanding because this is my work. I tell people all the freaking time, I'm always working, yo. Air don't stop. But it's just like being on a job site. And some days it seems like there's nothing to freaking do, or they put you in an area where you don't want to be. It's like, you just want me to sit here all day today? That's all I gotta do? Yes. There's somebody who wish they could sit here all freaking day. You just sit here. Just be still. You know? But that goes with everybody having a part to play. You might not like the part that you have to play, but you're playing that part for a reason. Playing that part. It sounds like it's not real, but you will realize later on it's real because it's going to play out and make a lot of sense. I want to say it's a cause and effect also, but it's with me saying that, it's taking me back into what I talked about before when it comes to heavy traffic. When people play their parts, traffic ain't heavy. When somebody get distracted or something, accidents happen. There's a cause and effect, which gonna make heavy traffic. It's the same aspect, for sure. The time, what is the time? 4:50. Crossway, halfway. Yeah, this is all new. It's 0. Then they got judgment on it. You should have learned a good amount of lessons by now to navigate right. I wouldn't say that you weren't navigating right. The 5, you was left out somewhere. Somewhere you felt left out at. And they got the 5 on there. But if it's going with the energy I just recently translated and I still feel today, with even the Tower coming out. And then on the traveling side, snuggle up to Jesus. They weren't, oh my God, suffocating the energy. So it may feel left out situation. And you're looking at all the communication, all the work that y'all have done. That's why you're dwelling. Because it's a lot. That's a lot that was invested. It's like making an investment, a really big investment, and then losing it. So that's not the most funnest thing. I recently felt that energy. That's the intriguing part. All those swords is pain. What's got you having anxiety? As to, was that the right choice to do? You might. This is one of those energies. I translated this recently, but well, not too recently, but don't be scared to open back up. This is the energy of a big loss where you may have a hard time opening up. But I want to say you don't. But you could. This is a big loss. But it's your strength. There's no way you don't recognize this. It made me think of something else one of my translators said, which I thought was quite awesome. I just watched her. I watched it this morning. Did I watch you this morning, Ty? I think I did. But it's the eternal aspect, removing people pretty much to protect you. It's the same type of energy, honestly. But it feels painful. And it seemed like an investment lost. Ay. Investment lost. But you get to start over, you know? Not with much, but it's beneficial. It's the start right there, but your attention is over here on what you lost. But you're starting over with justice, and justice is in the sky. This is the eternal word guiding you. That's why I picked up the energy yesterday. I said, you're going to be traveling solo. It's the eternal aspect. Guiding you. That's so funny. Even on the judgment card, when I actually look at it, I'm even using my little stick. I plan on using my little stack. You see that angel coming from the sky and them people looking up at the angel? It's the same aspect. They making their presence so freaking known. I've been saying it like every one of my translations pretty much. Because eternal aspect is really making a presence known where it's like, I will not be ignored. There's no way you're not going to recognize me. Like, even though I explained to you guys before as to, they are communicating through people. I was just like, oh, of course, you know. You don't understand what I'm saying. You could be having a full-blown conversation with somebody, but that conversation ain't for you. Your shadow is going to take it to the next person, and they're going to understand it. The person saying it to you might not even understand why they're saying it. Or somebody could be talking, and then you just start being able to resonate with what they're saying. Like you just asked that, or you just said that, and somebody come to you and they have those enters. It's a shadow that, handle that for you and bringing the information to you. That's the intriguing part. Like, it's so freaking deep. It comes off scary a little bit, but I guess that's why we got into a whole pandemic, and had to put the masks on. Because the shadows do not play. But for me, even with us having that mask on, it's just like, it's a airwave situation. It's an airwave situation. Our whole heads are exposed. Our skin is out. What the foot are these? It's just intriguing. But, it had to be some type of reason why we had that mask on. I'm not even going to sit here and try to perk for anything. Perk. I gotta look what that word means. I'm not sure what that word means, but I heard it get used in I heard it get used in the way that I'm feeling right now. I don't even know what that means, but I'm really gonna look it up when I get done. That's so freaking funny, yo. Um, I lost my nose sense when I had left out of where I'm staying at now, and I came back. I lost my nose sense when I came back. I wasn't able to smell, and I didn't realize I wasn't smelling until my son was like, "It smells burnt in here," and I'm just like, "I don't smell nothing." And then eventually, I realized I'm not smelling anything, which that's the intriguing part, honestly, for a lot of people. They might not even realize it until somebody else tell them. Honestly, so it do have some type of intriguing aspect to play when it comes to the taste and the smell and all that. But for me, I know that it's the eternal aspect. I have learned that they have told me that to them. That they stop those aspects to bring a level of awareness to their presence. Um, what is that? I wrote it down. I think it is the invisible world. Like that's the way that they let you know they're still here. They shut certain parts of you down that you don't need to be able to communicate with them. Because they really don't need that. But it's them. Like what was it? Not being able to eat, not being able to taste, smell, and all that. It's them. Did they do that? Um, that's so freaking intriguing. Because when I actually was able to smell again, because I wasn't smelling for a good like week or something, maybe a little longer, but I want to say a week. It wasn't that long. But losing your nose sense ain't a bad thing, metaphorically, when you have like a whole another five senses that you probably don't use so much. Because me, I'm a big smeller. I love to smell good. I love smell goods. I love the smell aspect. That sense is like I want to say my favorite. And I lost it, which that's another intriguing part. To lose your favorite scent, your sense, is a really intriguing part. But I actually did not mind it because like how you know you're supposed to smell something if you don't smell it? It's the same aspect when it's the eternal aspect. Why would you think something there when it's the same doggone aspect? But my ex had some face scrub, and it was an orange one, and I was like, "Ooh, that's nice. Let me put some of that on." And I went to put it on my face, and I was like, "That smelled like oranges." Like my sense came right the freak back, and it's intriguing because I've been eating oranges. I went and bought me a whole freaking pack of oranges, and I've been eating them throughout the day today. That was like the first thing I ate today was an orange. The only thing I ate today is oranges. Now that I said that, I thought it's like that's intriguing. And this is where I lost my senses and gained it back at the same time. That's really intriguing. Um, that's really intriguing. Is there anything else I could think of? Maybe that's why I had the little vapor little stuff. Eternal World is so intriguing. I tell you no lie, but that's how they communicate through people. It's just how they do it. It's intriguing. I feel like I want to give another example. Oh, that's one that I'm kind of experiencing, which kind of make me come up like I'm a crazy weird person. As to, I have a connection with somebody, and it's based off of an eternal aspect where I will always be guided with you, but the whole thing is to recognize it. And what do you do with it? I feel it's a marriage aspect, honestly. I feel it's a marriage aspect, but it also can go into a third party situation if that makes sense. But I don't believe it would. Just that's what it remind me of. But it's showing an eternal aspect where it's like no matter what form I'm in, I'm still there. I'm still with you. So I just thought that was intriguing. It's just the shadows. And your spouse could be your shadow. That's another intriguing part, honestly. I got a lot of wisdom, huh? How many experiences have I been through? Not many. It's just eternal aspect gives me the guidance, and I get to experience it sometimes with people, and it just they don't receive it. It seemed too much, you know. And a lot of people have ungenuine behavior, so it don't ever really work out so well. Because the person that used the eternal aspect as their full-blown guidance, you should know that you would never be able to lie, and you shouldn't want to. Because it comes in that energy. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I ain't got no privacy. What you need privacy for? What you doing? You know. But that's a whole nother topic, honestly, because that just makes me think about our whole justice system and all that, all the little extra eyes that's always available, but no justice actually gets served, metaphorically, because gotta be a little cautious with that word, because I have learned something that I am working on. It's based off of something I recently translated as into affinity. And this time it wasn't the sideway aspect, it was like an 8 form, the yin and yang aspect. And it's based off karma and justice at the same time, but it's not always the way that you think. And when somebody else said that, it's like it snapped in my head, like, oh, that makes sense, you know. But a lot of times it do play out the same doggone way. You know how sometimes they say you lose them the way you got them. It's like one of those aspects I see a lot of the time. And it's based off of yin and yang, but how long is it gonna take for that to happen? You know, do they have to actually find somebody that they actually love, and then that karma hit them as to boop? Then they lose that person. You know, it's like one of those aspects. You know, some type of form of that way, but shadows are getting a lot of work done. That's pretty much what I'm getting out. I don't think I'm even gonna do the cards other than what I just did. Travel. I feel like this was just more a verbal aspect, honestly. It's not really an image aspect. Just wanted to come on here and chat with you guys. That's the time. Time to just chat. Chat. Chat with this chat man. Chat. I'm looking that word up too. I got it. So sometimes you can have an idea what something means, but you may not know. And for me, it's like chat. I guess this is what it is, huh? We're just chatting. Back and forth. Just we having a little tennis. Chat. Chat. Wiping away the tears. Yeah. Learn from your past. This is learning from the past for sure. Being in school. I thought about giving an example, but I don't know if that's a good one. Having a test and not passing it, and have to take it again, and then maybe again, and again, and then eventually you pass it and you get to move on. It's that aspect. If you ain't learned your lesson, you're gonna repeat it. You're gonna go right back through that cycle, the yin and yang. You're gonna come right back to it. It's like a wheel of fortune, honestly, which that card came out recently. And it said you completed the cycle. That did come out. The cycle did get completed. But from the other ones that they haven't, it's gonna repeat for sure. A bridge to God. This is divine connection. It's supposed to be in a spouse energy. I picked that up on myself, honestly, recently. Where am I? Did I get my phone with me? Oh, I'm using the snaps. I'm a person who also texts themselves. I say I communicate with spirit, but you know, metaphorically, it's not I'm texting myself. But when spirit talks to me or my shadow, I'll jot those notes down in my phone. Which I start naming the emotions I've been sharing with you guys. I actually been thinking of using that metaphor to actually be able to communicate with you guys, where we can talk back and forth. Do that aspect where you're able to even call me, like literally, because that's really my number. But I named it emotions because it's really what it is. It's the crown chakra where I'm receiving it. So I feel the need to write it down, which they actually recently said to do that. It actually came out in the translation as to keep track of your emotions, energy you're receiving, the way you're feeling. Make sure you write it down. Just keep notes of it. Maybe you're not a writer, maybe you're a painter, I don't know. Maybe you're a musician or something. It's that time. Even the movies, I've been watching a lot of movies, and I realized they are the same aspect as me. We just have different ways of translating what the eternal side has given us. I watch movies and I'm just like, oh my god, that's so intriguing how you just translated that whole message that's actually happening, or I just freaking said. It's the same aspect, except their creativity have them do it in a movie form. Today, I felt like I just needed to speak instead of using the cards, really, even though I'm doing both. But as I keep looking down, something just keeps saying no. Just say it. And it's intriguing because I keep wanting to look down, but it's like, it's not what it is. But that's actually good. That's a really moving forward aspect, honestly. Not saying that I won't still use this, but I am recognizing that. And it's like, that's intriguing. Back up and start over. You get to start over. That's just what I said. It's the lover. You meant to be with somebody. You're so freaking beautiful. That's so beautiful. Oh, I didn't finish telling you guys. That's why it is. How long is this video? Okay, it's not bad. I still feel good. I have to watch myself sometime when I'm recording, because after a while my energy start going down. Like, taking in too much, dude, it's a drainful situation. It's just like a phone. You be on it too much, the battery will go down. You have to you recharge it. It's the same way. It's all energy. It will go down. You have to recharge it. But I'm good at the moment. I just want to check. I still need to check. 47, 43. Crossway, obvious. Crossway. Change perspective. Numbers. I pay attention to numbers a lot. I have changed the way that I'm eating again, which some people say, you just a little flip flopper, huh? Because I was really big on do not you slap any meat in my face or down your own throat. Don't you dare think of doing it. And I recently have picked up eating meat. But I have recently stopped. Like, how long have I been eating meat? I stopped eating meat for like, I feel like 6 years maybe. I feel like it's that long. It's been that long. Maybe 6 or 7 years. I feel like. And I really enjoyed it so freaking much. I'm not even gonna lie. I never thought I would eat meat again in my life. Ever. Ever. Because I wasn't craving it or nothing, you know. See, I'm gonna speak on that too, because there's a little difference this time. The first time I stopped eating meat, it wasn't a choice. It's like I woke up one day and I wasn't craving it, like some magic or something happened to me. Because I did speak on it as to, I want to age well. I was talking to somebody and I told him I wanted to age well. And the next day, I was freaking not eating meat, yo. It was the most intriguing aspect. You would have thought I never ate meat. This time I'm feeling the energy to stop doing it again. And I have been stopped doing it. But it's like I still been feeling myself craving it. It's like something I really have to stop myself from doing. Which is intriguing, because the first time it was not a choice. I just didn't want it. I didn't think about it. I could be around people eating it and it's not like, let me bite that, or, you know. None of that. This time it's just like, damn, bacon here do sound good. You know? Because I've been eating, when I started eating meat, I ate a lot of freaking hamburger, but for me, it was a nurturing aspect. Like a cow is nurturing, like it's like a motherish aspect to me. That's what I felt like the energy was, and I do realize that energy do guide me also, but it's in a different form. It's the same, but it's a little different. Sometimes I guess loved ones come back in different forms. I don't know, but I did realize I do get guidance from that aspect, but I do know it's time for me to stop doing that. Stop eating meat. I keep getting guidance to stop eating that, but it is difficult this time. This is something I really have to discipline myself on. But it's like I have the experience already, which I guess it should make it a little bit more easier. Because the first time, I was lost a little bit when it came to what to eat. I was eating intriguingly, which is not like a bad thing. I just really, but now I know better. I know there's all types of delicious things I can enjoy and all that. It's just, yeah, thought I should say that too, because I have realized with somebody else, one of my other translators is going through the same freaking thing, and I was like, oh, that's so amazing. And it's just intriguing because I bet she never thought that she would stop eating meat, and all of a sudden, she's not wanting it. She's been doing good, she said. Like she's actually enjoying it, and that's what really happens. You feel so good. It's intriguing. Really intriguing, which for my little funny ones, he'd be like, plants still have feelings. They feel things. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Just like the animals, they all feel things. This is very freaking true. But what type of guidance are you trying to receive? I guess that's what I'm saying. I guess because that's just what it seemed like to me personally. Definitely going back after the full blown. Don't you dare try it. Don't you dare try it. They even called the police on me and everything. Because I was going to my son's schools and everything. Telling them, stop feeding those kids that doggone meat. You can't teach them about an animal and then serve it to them at the same time. And they just was like, they was totally lost. Like, they need this, but I still really do feel that way. I'm not even going to lie. I feel like it should be a parent choice to feed that to them, but elementary, the young kid, they don't really know, honestly. I think they told them, and it's like, oh, I don't care. But it's like, they don't really get a choice. And in schools, they really don't allow the parents to have so much hands-on guidance and instructions when it comes to the child being in the actual building of the school. It's like, they the parents in the school at that time, while the kids there, the teachers and all of them are the parents, the authority over your kids while they're there. And you don't have no say-so. Like, parents can't just go in schools no more and just walk to the doggone classroom. You got to go through somebody just to get to your kid. Like, it's a whole nother situation. But I was one of those ones, and, they were just looking at me like, yo, you're being weird. They need this, Then the other school, because this happened at two different schools. One was the... I don't know, I think it was in Hamilton or something like that, and this one is a Madison aspect, but Hamilton called the freaking police on me, and I was just like, oh, you guys, I was appalled. I was totally appalled, because it's like they weren't even trying to freaking hear what I was saying. It just, she's a crazy black person talking about some don't serve these kids no meat is wrong, and they called the police on me. The police officer seemed like he understood, but it's just like, hey. Some people just really feel like there's nothing they can do. It's like, it always been this way, so, what do you want me to do about it? It's like, you guys, it's intriguing, but I just spoke on it just because I was that one, and it's like, what happened to you saying, this, and I see you going to the store buying pounds of hamburger. I know, right? It's a lesson that I had to learn, honestly. There's no way that it was a lesson I had to learn, to be able to identify certain aspects. It's just like anything else. If you ain't ever experienced it, how you gonna recognize it? It is based off a problem aspect. I guess I could tell you guys just because it's something that I have realized. And it's based off a connection, and it's a sexual aspect for me. And when it comes to a oneness, it's a way to let you know if something is wrong with your family sexually, or your, I say family, spouse, you would start, I began to start eating meat when I came back here. I also lost my senses, my nose senses, which is a COVID situation. And I'm dealing with same-sex energy. Um, but for me, it just was recognizing a problem, a stepping out aspect. So I guess I became a monster, because it made me think of I became a monster. Somebody described an elephant to me, or was the elephant or the hippo? Oh Jesus, I don't know, but they both are non-meat eaters, but they kill. You know, and the way she explained it was just so freaking intriguing to me, because it was like, oh my god, because she's like, they're emotional creatures, and it's like, that sounds like me, yo. And I started eating meat, where it became like, I became a monster on accident, but not in a bad way. It was in a, I had to learn. Like, I can identify things so much well. Even how I can go and tell you about this side, and I can tell you about this side. I had to experience this side after I learned better about this side, if that makes sense. I'm not justifying it, but I am justifying it, because it happened for a reason. Now I'm going back to the side where I know I'm supposed to belong, and I might come back to the other side if I need to. I'm not saying I won't, but I do feel the need to let go of the meat. Let it go. And for myself personally, it's based off my spouse. How can I explain that? If I'm not with nobody, that's another thing. How can I explain that? My son, after listening to some music, is catching my attention and making me a little distracted a little bit, but the meat in the spouse. It's taking me in the idea as into, most females, it can be guys too, when they're not with somebody, they may masturbate a lot. But it's just a way to cope with what you're missing. If you're not getting that action, you might be consuming of meat. It's that type of an aspect of energy to recognize. That's why I say, if it's a problem in your family or with your spouse, that's the side effect that you would get. If you were a person like me who weren't eating meat, but then your spouse may have stepped out, you will start to eat meat. Guaranteed, you're going to start doing it. But it's to identify something's wrong in your foundation. Because like me, I never thought that I would go back and eat any doggone meat. What? But if that didn't happen, how would you recognize that something was wrong? You only supposed to have one freaking sausage running around here, or one meatloaf running around here, you know? And since that meatloaf is somewhere else, or sausage somewhere else, you're actually going to consume of those aspects. It's like a replacement aspect. And I say that because for myself personally, I have been feeling the energy as to, until you're loved, go back to the other side. Until you're loved, go back to the other side. Because it's like, as much as I give out love, which I go with the reciprocating, I don't know, people expect love to be in a certain type of form of a way. Like, the way that I build is a very, very, very important, beneficial way. But if it's done with the wrong people, it's not right. Thank God I built very solid, where it's like, it's just mine. Where it's just mine. I'm just saying, because it's that type of an energy where it just will crumble. Like, if you build a house, it's like an actual marriage, you know. Y'all move in together, y'all married, and then y'all get divorced. They might want that whole house, or, you know, y'all just start separating things or stuff. Then you gotta start all the way over. And it's just like, even with my tarot that I do, or any other creativity I do, which for me is all tarot, it's all translated energy. Which, even the way I post on Instagram, I realized that's a freaking tarot board, which I've been using that as that, but the energy was like, that's the tarot board. Which I think I'm just gonna start. I can tell you guys, I'm not worried about it. I create all the time. You can get inspired by it too. Do the same thing if you like. Even with the cards that I have, like this, I can just print those off and use the images that I already have and translate that same way because I do it already, you know. But it's like I can actually just use my work I already did for my new cards, you know. Um, I like what's something else I wanted to say. I do share a lot because it's like I'm a natural creator. I naturally path new ways. Um, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's like you're supposed to be going that way with everybody else. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that I don't ever get inspired by things. I really do, sometimes. But I know it's just I take a part of that and begin to create a different way, if that makes sense. Um, because it's always supposed to be new. That's why I said we're supposed to be operating like some Japan stuff, but we're not. But for me, myself personally, my spouse is gonna be a really big, important part to me, in how we create. Um, but it all comes with honesty. You have to have honesty because honesty builds trust. And if there's no honesty, you best to believe there's no trust. I don't care how much infatuation and lust you got. If the trust ain't there, it's just not there. It will crumble eventually. And that's just no good. And for myself personally, I can speak on this. Okay, this is learning from the past, pretty much conversation. It's moving forward, but it's speaking of the past also. Um, I recently spoke about somebody that I dealt with before. Um, and I was saying I didn't understand why I had so much aggression in the way that I was expressing, talking about him. Like you could tell I was a fireball, like just totally freaking upset. Like, and as I was watching, I was like, wow, I was really upset. Sometimes you really don't understand how much you suppressed until you actually say it, and then you go back and think about what you said. Because normally you say things don't. You go back and you think about it. It circles back in your mind somehow about what you said. And since I recorded it, I was able to go back and watch my actual physical expressions that I was giving on top of my verbal words. And it's like, wow, that was a lot of hurt and aggression in that. But it was just like, it was based off love. Like when you really love somebody and they just ain't having it, it's a very intriguing aspect. Um, but it's just an aspect to learn to do better. Um, that's why the energy was telling me, you know, until you're loved, to go back that way, you know, because you're going in the wrong direction, chasing something that they ain't. What's the word again? Raquel, jeez, I forgot the word again. Pretty much, they're not receiving the love you're given, which is a slow down, you know. Um, but that don't mean that the love goes nowhere. The love was freaking genuine, you know. Some people say, "I feel out of love." How? You do not fall out of love. It just don't happen. Um, you just can say, "I never loved them," but you don't fall out of it. It's just, you should just learn it better. You just learn. How can I explain that? I don't know. You should just actually learn what love is, and everybody don't understand what that is. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Even how I can go back and talk about that because I'm repeating in the circle a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Um, how I talk to myself when I do intriguing things. I feel like I want to give an example, but I just don't do it purposely. That's the intriguing part. Um, I just do it and I catch myself. It's like it'd be intriguing to me. Um, the way that your spouse, I'm gonna say my spouse, because the way I feel how my spouse talks to me, it just would be so amazing. Like a lot of people that I deal with, it's like you deal with some intriguing people. I know, right? I have ones that love to totally ignore me. I have ones that Well, I'm gonna say had. I have ones that totally ignore me. It don't matter how much love I get them or tell them I love them 59 times a day, they would totally ignore me. I have ones that tell me that I don't know nothing, but for me, I would say that it's a liar. That's the first word I will use when it comes to that person. As to it's a liar. So anything they say after that, it don't even matter. But they will make me think, I don't know nothing. It's intriguing to me when they know very well that I know everything, and it irritates them because, like, damn, I can't hide nothing from you. Foolery. But at those aspects, it's so intriguing to have to force somebody to want to be in your presence and to realize I don't even have to lie to you. You are the most chillest person ever. I don't mean I just do fucked up stuff all the time, but it's like, even if I did, at the end of the day, you're still there and you still love me. It's like, it's just too good to be goddamn true. It's the most intriguingest aspect ever. It's just the most intriguingest aspect ever. But just learning from those aspects to know, catch the red flags really soon. And when no red flags come, take it as what it is. Like, for me, each one of those aspects I knew ahead of time. But it's just like, somehow I had to get played up. It didn't have to, I guess. I'm gonna leave it that way, the way I said it. It had to get played out that way. You have to learn certain lessons. And them lessons ain't the funnest to me. And I hope I don't have to learn them again. Honestly, I hope I have learned, if you're showing love to somebody and they just not reciprocative of it, let it go. It's okay. It's not meant for you, Hunter. You trying to make a shoe fit that's not meant to fit. But I just learned I'm not just any type of aspect, When I love. And it would never freaking stop. That's the aspect. Which helps understand why I'm normally by my doggone self. It's something I looked up yesterday. I looked it up yesterday. And I said something to my son. I just said it out loud, but I was saying, fly like an eagle. That's how I felt. I felt really good. And I actually looked up like a little research about eagles, and they said eagles, they fly alone, but they be with other eagles too, but they normally by themselves. And it's like, that sounds like me, but they fly at high altitudes. We have attitudes. I'm just joking. Them really big strong ones. Them really big strong attitudes. But seriously, they be up there by themselves. They don't hang down here with the other little intriguing energies, which make it seem like we'll always be isolated. But there is, high energies also. It's just, how can I explain that? Just finding them, because they normally are probably by themselves. It's something I can speak on. I guess it's funny with me even saying that out loud. Now I'm thinking about something that I actually be displaying in my own life. And I actually speak on it. So, why am I around people that I'm in? I have learned to understand it just by learning certain lessons in where I'm at to be able to recognize it in other situations. But that saying, birds of a feather flock together, it's like, whoa, I know I'm an eagle. I fly really freaking high. I don't even fly, yo. I freaking just be floating in the air. Be planking in the air. What they call that? When they just in the air and they just floating, they ain't even moving. Majority of the time when I receive information, I'm not moving. I can still receive when I move, but normally I'm not moving. I can be asleep and receive my information. The self-conscious is still going. The clock is still going. I'm always receiving. That's why I say I operate like a Buddha, like a statue, majority of the time. Which a lot of people don't understand. That they say that's lazy. You're not doing it. I am receiving. My work is to receive and translate. But a lot of people don't understand that aspect, because it's just like, that's not how I was told things go. Did they hear about it? But it's just like, I know you, so if I gotta get up and go to work and all this and that, you do too. I know there's millionaires and billionaires who get to live like this, but you know, since I know you, it's just I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. I don't know. It's the weirdest situation ever, but um, like when I say like millionaires and billionaires, I think of like motivator speakers. You know, people who spend their day being able to receive, so that means they're away from like normal people. I would believe. Um, then they come to you and just like I'm doing this, and they just translate from their experience or what they received. And they get paid bohu money to do that. It's the same freaking aspect. You know, but nobody sits there and say, for the most part, people probably do, of course, I'm sure they do, but the whole thing is to stay true to yourself, what you're supposed to be doing. It's so freaking intriguing. I feel like there was something else I was about to say, I kind of forgot. Buddha, I'll probably like a Buddha. Or a plant. You know, I have to learn on my own by experiences. You know, that's the intriguing part. Because you don't get to learn so much in one day. A plant don't grow overnight. You have to water yourself, pluck certain things. You know, give a certain light, don't give a certain light, and it don't. It's not the quickest process. But when you're doing it to your own self, like you're your own freaking plant, it's intriguing. That's why I said like a statue. I operate like a statue because I'm sitting still, but I'm nurturing myself at the same time to be able to grow. It's the most intriguingest aspect, and nobody around me seemed to understand that. Oh, that's my Sunny Boo himself. What was it? What the heck was it? I kind of forgot. That's what I wanted to talk about. It was based off that. What was I saying? Oh, I don't remember. It's not. What the heck was it? I don't really remember at the moment. It's probably because it's irrelevant. That's why I always tell him. It's like, that's irrelevant, dude. I hope you understand later what I'm doing and appreciate it, which I'm sure he will, but at the moment, they just don't understand it. Because it makes me come off like I'm lazy. And it's like, I'm not lazy. Trust me, I'm a super duper. I work a lot of freaking people, which I normally do. When I go to a job site that they know of, that I still enjoy, I even thought about just going and walking around and applying for some jobs just because, like, I have extra time. And I would like that extra token, you know? That's another thing. It's like, I know I am rich and established already. I'm still learning lessons. It's like, my money is on hold or something. That's just what I keep feeling like. Because it's like, I feel like I'm already established already. But it's like, could you ever have too much money? Like, just because I'm rich and wealthy, I can't go work a job to be able to receive more money or just go help somebody and be able to receive more abundance. Like, it's weird to me, you know. Cause some people, you know, they wouldn't expect a millionaire or a billionaire to be working in a warehouse, at a grocery store, newspaper route or something. I don't know. They wouldn't expect that, but it's just like, could you ever have too much freaking money? And for me personally, even with me saying that in that aspect, myself personally, it seemed like the only way I'll be able to meet people. And it's intriguing because most people that I have met that I actually came into relationships with, intriguingly, it was based off the work site. And the funny thing about that is the way it played out in my actual life, it made sense the places we were at. One was an Excel where I literally excelled. My mind excelled. The other one was an impact. It is literally a help growing aspect. So it's like, it's intriguing as to how I met them and how they, where we met at, really displayed out. Like, it was so freaking intriguing to me. But people like me, how I operate, how I normally don't have to be around people, and I would say normally don't like to be. I would say I normally don't like to be, but if I'm around the right people, I probably want to be around you all freaking day, honestly. But when it's not that situation, yeah, I would like to be by myself. It's just the way it is. But hopefully one day I would be able to be around that. Like my translators, I spend the majority of my day on the phone with them. I keep that type of company. We're from a distance, but it's still company to me, if that makes sense. So I guess I do keep good company. It's just you have to change your perspective on what you call good company. Which that is something I had to from Excel. I've learned from Excel to appreciate the distance because I still can communicate. Like there's never a separation. And impact is still operating as to where it can become a third party situation. It's a always with you. It's an eternal aspect. It is part of the building new creation. I say my phone about that. It's not. Um, but for me personally, it just helped me get out and be able to meet people. Cause it's like it's hard for me to just to go somewhere and just expect to meet people. It's weird to me. Like for me, what type of person are you, huh? You intriguing person? Oh, pardon me, I am an intriguing person. I really am. But it's for a reason, honestly, because I pick up energy very freaking quickly, very quickly, um, very quickly, and I didn't start realizing I didn't start I didn't start realizing what was happening until like later on when as I evolved spiritually, I start realizing why I was doing certain things, why I was behaving certain ways. Like I enjoy warehouse work because it's you're in somewhere, you know. I don't know. It's like I like the setup of it myself personally. On top of the way we get paid, I do enjoy that aspect. Um, I do enjoy that aspect. I really do. I do enjoy customer service and all that aspect. I know there's other aspects to do too, but I come for certain reasons. I don't plan on staying forever. In and out. Not long term. Because I do my own. I got my own work to do. I have my own empire going on. But I do, like to get out sometime. And that seemed the only way that I would do it. What I was about to say? I normally am indoor. I go outdoors sometimes when I want to work out or I just need I feel the energy to get out there. There's something out there that I have to be able to receive. Other than that, I go to the store and I get right back. It's like anytime I go somewhere, it's for a reason. So for me to think of going somewhere and just be there lingering, hoping that I'll meet somebody is weird to me. Like, 'cause I can just go downtown, walk around, and of course I'm gonna be seeing somebody gonna approach me because I'm an attractive person. But for me, it's just like, it seems bad, but I don't know. I guess it's like, so they say you can meet people, join social events or activities to meet people. If I go to the gym, I probably wouldn't meet some people in there, but it's like my attention is going to be to work out. I'm probably going to be upset if somebody approaches me when I'm working out because I'd be focused. Other programs, I haven't joined any. Like, if I was pregnant or something, I'd probably join like one of those type of aspects. You can't get that baby fever, huh? You can't get enough of that baby fever. I'm going to have another one eventually. It's the way my foundation is supposed to be. I didn't finish telling you guys. I don't want to get off topic because I don't want to forget what I'm talking about. Hopefully I remember again, but maybe other activities. Just I don't know any. I'm a solo person. I'm not really close with my family. I don't have any friends because like when I came to Columbus, I've been stuck with one person and I'm still with that person, so I haven't got out to learn people like that. But it makes sense when you understand the type of person I am. It's like my spirit guides let me know I'm not for everybody. So it's a reason why, I'm not hiding from people. It's just, it become intriguing sometimes when you seeking that, but you seem like you're pushing it away at the same time. It may not be me. It's just the wrong freaking people. There has been a good amount of people I have met. And the intriguing part about that too. I have been feeling the energy lately that my crowd is going to be young. That's the intriguing part. But when I'm out and about sometime, I ain't been out too much lately, but when I was out and about, when I was outside, exploring, I learned a lot being outside. My life is so intriguing. I tell you no lie. My life is so intriguing. But when I was outside literally exploring, it took me literally in the Buddha form as to how I was always confined and then actually went out and learned like what was going on. I felt like that. Like I was so amazed at certain things that I was seeing and all that. Like, whoa, you never knew all this was going on. So I learned a lot, and for me, I called it exploring. But I learned a lot, honestly, which I talked about in other videos, but and shared. I had a good time. That's where I really got my strength, I would say, because I realized and recognized there's signs every freaking where. There's signs everywhere. There's signs every freaking where of communication, divine communication. Like you might can think something, and then you'll look up, and you'll see the answer riding by like on a car, or a sign, or just tons of communication. That's why sometimes I do feel the need to go out there because I feel like it's something that I have to see that I can't just receive it from where I'm at. So I go out there. But I really do feel like that was my strength. What people thought was my downfall was my biggest strength. Communication was extraordinaires. Extraordinaires. Because I lost my place. I got evicted out of my home, which is kind of intriguing because it's like it didn't actually get finalized as an eviction because my ex, who was already on the lease with me, but he wasn't staying here, wound up moving in here, where they just pretty much removed the eviction because he just stayed on the lease and paid it. But for me, why did you get evicted? How did you lose your place? I was told not to worry about that. Don't worry about that. Everything will be good. Don't worry about that. So I stopped working and everything. Like, and I was working doing the energy I'm doing now, but I stopped going to the warehouse because the energy spirit told me, don't worry about that. Focus on this, and that's what I did. I didn't lose my job. I left my job. I started paying all the bills. Eventually, certain stuff get cut off, but I was still able to function the way that I needed. It was the most intriguing aspect. It was the most intriguing aspect ever. Sometimes you really don't know what you need or what you are capable of doing until you are doing it or just put in that situation. And I really learned, like, wow, there's so many ways to survive effortlessly without things that people say that you need. What's an example I can give? Electricity. Lights is out, power off. We have things called outside lights. We got candles, we got flashlights, we got all types of things that reserve light where we don't even need that. Really, really don't. I'm just saying it's nice to have. I'm not gonna say it's not nice to have, but it's not really needed. It shouldn't be something that's forced to have if you don't need it. Because most time people have homes, but they're never at their homes. They might spend the majority of their time at somebody else's home or at a job site. Where it's like, it don't even matter if you got lights on. You're not there. When you go home, it's going to be lights out because you're going right to bed. but seriously, that's how I operated. Like, it's daytime, I can see. I'm navigating the way I need to. It's nighttime, go to bed. It's that simple. And if I'm up at nighttime still, light some candles. We making it sexy time. Like, the heat go off, so if we got cold water, we can still wash up, yo. Like, who cares? Which cold baths are actually really good for you. Cold showers are really beneficial for you. It's not the funnest thing at first, but eventually you won't even realize the water cold. Seriously, it actually feels really good. No water, there's always somewhere to wash up, yo. Trust me. Even I just sit there and say, if I'll go out and about right now, somebody going to stop me. And of course they're going to want, probably maybe to bring me home or take me somewhere. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. I'm just saying, just giving a reference as to how I'll be able to wash up. I can make that type of stuff happen. It's not like a real big deal. I can make that type of stuff. Because people, it's like a date, People might If you go on a date with, they're gonna want you to look nice, so they'll probably give you money to get outfits and clothes and all that type of stuff. Maybe even a hotel. It depends what the situation is, you know. They got their own place. Who knows? Hopefully they got their own place, you know. Go wash up, you know. Friends, family, go wash up there. Just go get in the lake. It's the water. So I washed up outside before, and it was the most beautifulest thing ever. I swear to God, it was so beautiful. I bathed outside, like by like a. It reminded me of like a waterfall. It was like water, like a pool, but it had water coming down from the walls. It was so sexy, and I had like a bodyguard. I had security, so nobody ran up on me. But the most intriguing part by that aspect was I just met that person, and they really made me feel comfortable. Where it was like I knew I could do that comfortably and not worry about them like trying to rape me or something. Like he really not touching me. He might have observed, of course, but it was nice. It was the most awesomest thing. I washed up, I shaved and stuff, and moisturized, but I did it all outside, and it was so nice. It was like something off a movie, some romantic shit that like only get to happen once in a lifetime. But it was just nice. I really enjoyed it, honestly. Which I did it more than one time, but the other times I was by myself. But it's just nice. It's ways to get things done. That's what I have learned, honestly. That's what I'm getting at. But rewinding back to this something I was about to say, but I didn't want to get stuck on what I was just saying, or not get stuck. I didn't want to forget about what I just was saying. Is one of my other translators, the way that they described marriage helped me understand why I always speak of having a foundation and how I know I'm meant to do this with somebody else. She said it in the form as into you just take a person and you go to God as to and letting God know you found the person that you're looking for. What you got sent here to do, you found that person. And you know, you want the okay of to keep going forward. I don't think I said that right, but it's that energy. I thought that was so freaking gorgeous. Like, it's nice to hear somebody resonate on the same aspect that I'm already feeling. Because sometimes people are like, you can do it your freaking self. Even the guidance told me, you're going to do this until you're loved, you're doing it yourself. You know, I even got to go back and eat totally different. Because I was eating meat, as I was saying. Now I'm going back to vegetables. Not vegetables, but non-meat products. I'm consuming of at the moment. But it's based off a connection. I don't have the connection, so I can't be in that aspect. But if I go in that aspect, for me, I'm saying something's wrong. There's some type of sign that's symbolizing something's wrong. But that's just me saying that. But I'm pretty sure it'd be right because I realize everything I say normally plays out very well. It's like I have to stop contradicting myself. Spirit do tell me that, as into even when I do my translations and I say and or just give it. It's just layers to it. Why do I go down like that? And maybe it's going down. See, things like that. It's like not there at the moment because a lot of my energy have been repeating. But once again, when things ain't being reciprocated, of course it's not going that way. It's that and then probably repeating back until a certain level. Reciprocating. That word is so intriguing. But I just love the way she explained that because it's like, oh my God, that's exactly what I be feeling like. Some people say marriage ain't everything, you know. And nowadays they got marriage all twisted, but it's just a confirmation going to what sent you there for that reason and going back and letting them know I found them. Please continue to guide us, you know. It's just that, and it's so freaking amazing. Like it made me so happy when I heard her say it. Cause like, it just like it clicked in my head, like ka-ching. That's why. It's just coming forth, completing what you already came there for, and bringing it to that person who sent you there for it. I thought that was so freaking awesome. Like, that's so awesome. Because I speak of having a spouse a lot. I always say, "Hey, this would be so much easier if I had somebody." You're supposed to. You can do it yourself, but I sent you here for a reason. There's no way that you're not going to find this person here. There's no way you're not going to find this person here. I guess I was about to say, that keep resonating in my head now again. No way you're not going to find this person here. If you got sent here for a reason, trust and believe that person going to be here. It's just, have you learned that lesson? Some lessons yet to get to where you're supposed. I just said that. It's the guidance. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so freaking beautiful. That is beautiful. When you speaking and manifesting, they are doing the same exact thing. It's like y'all speaking to each other. It's like how people be like, when you're looking at the moon, they on the other side looking at it. It's the same freaking aspect of energy I'm feeling. That's why another light bulb like just went off in my head like a chain. That you're getting it. You're getting it, honey. And there I go again with it again. You're getting it, honey. That is so funny. It was awesome. You're getting it, honey. That's so funny to me now. Cause it seemed like a freaking fairy tale. Honestly, it feels like a fairy tale. As to how you are communicating with somebody, and y'all both are seeking the same thing. But it's funny because y'all probably could be in the same position. Like me, I said I don't get out much. How are you looking for somebody and you don't get out that much? The same way I just explained how energetically my brother told me where he was at, they could find me. That's the intriguing part. Or it might be a day where I go out with the same aspect and we just run into each other or something. There's no way y'all not gonna be doing the same thing where y'all run into each other. That's the intriguing, amazing part. It's like all this energy is coming into me now. It's so exciting, but I just feel a lot of energy where things are just connecting. This is taking me back into. I just said that. Like, well, it's just not resonating from that side of the brain to the other side, you know? That's so awesome. This communication is awesome. That's happening. It's just enjoy it, honestly. I want to say take action on it. That's something I have learned and still am learning. I want to give an example. Another example. I can use that example because it's a big one to me on a big energy that I have dealt with. And as I said before, I have been stuck on for a long time. But it's an experience I have with him where I know I use people that I say dealt with, but I thought I was building with, but I realized people might think that I'm crazy. Like, yo, I ain't talked to you in forever and all this and that. How you thought we were building anything? Hey, this is how I do things. I don't waste my time. I'm in it for the long run. But they have taught me things, you know? So, hey. One day he came here, he pulled up, and he was with somebody else, but I felt his energy as to I'm out here. And I went outside and I seen him in a car with somebody else, but my heart stopped. Like, oh my God, I know you're not with somebody else. And I just closed the door. I didn't go all the way outside. I just opened the door and I seen it and I just closed the door back. And I just proceeded with my day like nothing happened. But now I don't operate that way. I might feel something and know something, but I'm not acting on it in that form of a way. Like if it was to pull up right now, I would know you out there, but I'm not coming out there. You want to see me, you're going to come into the door or just come inside. You know, I believe it should be more of an effort, even though I already know, if that makes sense. But that do go with this energy that I just seen on the car attitude. Don't do that. Like being hurt by something and then blocking it on the new growth of aspect. Because that hurted me. I was like, oh my, did you just pull up with someone? She just pull up with somebody else. Yo, what are you doing? But that could have been just me just reacting just because. That could have been somebody breaking him. I had no clue who that god doggone girl was. That could have been his sister. Could have been his cousin. Why did I, first thing I thought, it had to be something wrong. You know? But there's a lesson that I feel is important with what I just sat there and said. But I'm about to wrap this video up because I feel like my energy starting to drain. I feel like I'm circling myself. I do feel like I'm getting drained a little bit. I have recorded for a long time. This is the longest I've recorded in a long time, honestly. Quite impressed with myself, honestly. But I feel like I'm getting drained. Like my mind is getting drawn and getting drained, if that makes sense. I can't really explain it. Your energy feel like it's getting drawn, and what is that? Like stuck mode. Like where I'm gonna start really not remembering stuff. Like it's processed a whole lot. Memory full.